great international engagement once again in between South Korea and Italy. So let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. Here spawning on Berlin Glade in the upper left in the blue, it is REYNOR, the Italian player, and his opponent here in the lower right, it is MARU from South Korea. So very interesting matchup here, Terran versus Zerg, Italy versus South Korea here on Berlin Glade. We see a very standard open up here by MARU, just not intending to block the ramp, just straight supply depot into barracks. Let's have a quick look at REYNOR. He's going for fast expansion build, no spawning pool of course yet for him, just mass droning. His second overlord is also out. I'm pretty sure that he's just going to check now the proxies here around the map. Now if you're new to Starcraft, proxy means that many Terrans really like to go for some crazy cheesy gameplay, like hiding some barracks here next to the Zerg player just to give them an early advantage, an early lead and a great harassment early on. But nothing out of this. MARU just plays it pretty much standard, even though he's very much known for that proxy barracks gameplay, being so many times successful. This time just straight standard here with a barracks and supply depot. His gas is also up, so yeah, also going for his orbital. And yeah, let's have a look at that spawning pool timing. Gas is also up here for REYNOR, so pretty standard stuff. REYNOR still checking here the proximity, still checking for those barracks, but I'm sure that as soon as his overlord is going to reach, no, he's actually not continuing here to explore, he's just standing here at the high ground just to see when or if the SCV is moving out or any army is moving out. Now the spawning pool has been finished, drones are being transferred, and we see the first queens also being spawned. So REYNOR is pretty much expecting a harassment here from MARU, but no such thing. MARU plays it pretty much safe, barracks into factory, and he might continue with a starport. Sorry, we do know of course that Terrans really like to go for those medivacs, for that harassment with medivacs, with marines, and even Hellion drops or mine drops. So let's have a look the plan here from MARU against REYNOR. His expansion is also almost been finished here. Yeah, let's have a look what exactly his plans are. And yes, indeed, it is going to be a starport. It is. There is that second expansion here for REYNOR. Nice spread of those overlords. The other overlord has changed position, and pretty soon he's going to walk here into the, fly here into the base from MARU, or is he just staying here? Perhaps he's expecting some medivac move out. This is exactly why he's chosen here this position. Let's check the main from REYNOR. Still the spawning pool. In case I've missed something, of course, you guys know here in the upper left part you can see the production tab. Speed is being done for those Zerglings and so on. You can also see a first medivac is being produced, so we might see the investment, some greens also, and he actually chooses here to drive by with those Hellions. Let's have a look if he can kill something. REYNOR of course spreading those queens, spreading that creep really nicely here. The expansion is now being done. MARU sees the timing, around 3 minutes and 40 seconds, decides to pull back, so he knows of course that there are queens on the map. He could have tried here to drive by, perhaps kill some of those drones. In the end he just stays here back. There's that medivac with those marines, 7 marines into this medivac. Let's have a look. He's going here for this position. One queen is gathering. There comes the second queen. Let's have a look at the other queens. Are there any spores being produced? No spores here for REYNOR. No spore here. In comes the medivac, but that spread of those overlords is really nice here from REYNOR, as he's now deciding to attack this overlord. So the queens of course will transition their position. 5 queens, really actually 6 queens and some Zerglings. So the REYNOR should of course be fine. We even have a wolf here, dog looking like creature. Yes, this is, as you can see, the ASL Berlin Glade. So okay, let's just go back to the game. MARU tries to attack on 2 fronts just to keep REYNOR busy. He's sniping an overlord or 2, but in the end not really dealing so much economic damage. One overlord gets snapped here in the main, and they're finding 4 Hellions are being brought here, but still MARU doesn't really get the connection he wants. Perhaps he's going to pick up those Hellions, put them in the medivac and just fly towards the main. It could be a possibility as that tier 2, but yeah, REYNOR really has those overlords all over the map, so he knows exactly what is happening. And yeah, now MARU tries to attack with the high ground. And let's have a look at medivac nicely healing those marines, but Those queens are also healing themselves up. One queen has fallen, some marines have fallen here as well. Still a waiting game here. Still MARU not really making any progress here. Let's have a look. There is a roach or roach warren indeed, so roaches of course much more tankier against those marines. And the MARU still with this small task force, adding some Hellions. It's 6 Hellions now, and this could be a great chance here for him. Those drones are nicely positioned, so 2, 3 drones have been sniped here. We're not paying attention. 1 drone has been saved, and yeah, 3 pickup. It's still quite good. And let's hold on, we have a surprise here from MARU. He actually has added a battle cruiser. So at around 5-minute and 40-second mark, we see a battle cruiser. Really nice stuff, and with this he can of course attack at 2 fronts. A battle cruiser very much tanky. All of those queens have to come back, and this could be exposed, but no, REYNOR actually adding those roaches. So yeah, MARU finally with a small harassment, 5 kills, 5 drone kills for him, nicely being done. Remember, he's not losing any workers. Still of course the Zerg has more workers than him, and more workers army wise. MARU is also doing really nice. He needs to be careful with this 1 battle cruiser. At the same time, in come the Hellions, but the roaches are there. Once again, they're driving here through, and 5, 6, 9, even 9 kills now, 10 kills. So great drive-by here by MARU, doing some great damage. 12 kills. He will of course lose some of those Hellions, but in the end a nice job has been done. Hold on, we see now those Zerglings coming here through, but the Marines are really nicely positioned here in between the minerals, in between the gas, and yeah, nice job here by MARU defending those Zerglings up. Even the battle cruiser is returning home to get repaired, and he might teleport once again across the map. So great early start here for MARU against his opponent. Let's have a look how REYNOR is going to respond. He's going straight for another expansion at the 9 o'clock position. Those Zerglings are still in position, they're much hurt, so not that much is going to be done, and we have a second battle cruiser. So let's have a look. Is MARU going to teleport, or no, he's actually going to fly through and perhaps just teleport in case those battle cruisers are in trouble. Zerglings do come in, but not really doing anything here. So nice defense by MARU. Army wise, both players at the same count. Let's have a look at the battle cruisers, the spawning eggs. See them. In come the queens, many queens. Of course the battle cruiser have to be microed here away. So nice job here by REYNOR. And yeah, at the same time, this is a nice strategy here from MARU. He's multitasking, he's bringing those Hellions, and once again those Hellions could deal huge amounts of damage here with the battle cruiser. Once again, just to distract REYNOR, and 12 kills. Once again, 13 kills. The Hellions might get killed, but in the end their job has been done. Almost 20 kills. Let's have a look at the battle cruisers. Not that much successful. The queens are nicely healing themselves up. 1 battle cruiser has returned home, but 70 kills out of those Hellions, really worthy. It would have been even greater for MARU if he could have saved some of those Hellions, but this gives him of course a smaller economic advantage, even though REYNOR is massing those workers back. And yeah, let's have a look. The battle cruiser here is still distracting. MARU needs to be careful. It's gonna TP back and once again repair them. Nice mechanical build order here. Notice not that many marines, no harassment with mass marines, with medivacs, with marauders. MARU is deciding to go for mass mechanic, Hellions, tanks, battle cruisers. Are we going to see some Tors? We even have Yamamoto gun being done. So many weapons upgrades and armor upgrades, as you can see them here in the lower middle part. Now yeah, MARU or REYNOR still at roaches. He might go into Ravagers. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at his main here as well. We see a Spire. He might go into Mutalisk. It would be interesting. Corruptors would also be a nice decision, as we have 3 battle cruisers now. And yeah, MARU just keeps the Zerg guessing what exactly his next steps are going to be, as we're closing at a 10-minute mark. Once again, the Hellions really proven very strong for MARU. Of course, he's going to try once again to harass the Zerg, but this time REYNOR having a nice spread. But worker-wise, Terran all of a sudden almost at 90 workers, so still no harassment here for REYNOR. Exactly as his plans are going to be. This game continues like this, MARU of course will have the great advantage here. Almost 90 workers, same can be said for the Zerg, but Terran of course much stronger. Let's have a look. 1 Yamamoto gun and then just TPs out. Really nice stuff, and once again TPing out. So yeah, Yamamoto killing one of those corruptors, And a really nice micro here from MARU once again against REYNOR. Aliens will get intercepted, so slowly but steadily REYNOR is moving really close here to the base from MARU. He knows he has to be doing something, he has to be sniping something, but those tanks actually being spreaded. Not only that they're spreaded, but the walling is really nice. It just will make it so much more difficult here for the Zerg units to walk through. Let's have a look everywhere. Yes, we even have a sensor tower, so it's not such a nice spread here from MARU, but look at that, REYNOR is already spreading that creep so nicely here around the map. He's almost at the expansion point here from MARU, so things are still at a stalemate right now. MARU is on a defensive position. He tries of course to move out, this time with blue flamed Hellions, clearing some of those queen eggs. Let's have a look at his next steps, as he's now just deciding to position himself defensively, going for another expansion. M can be set for REYNOR, so adding some spores in case those battle cruisers will return. But yeah, much more aggressive gameplay now here for REYNOR. He's deciding to attack. The motogun MTPs out, but no one battle cruiser has been snapped. So yeah, those corruptors, of course, the great answer against this battle cruiser. So once again, Hellions do make it here through just a small group. Blue flamed Hellions, look at all of that damage. 8 have been killed, and MARU now at 92 versus the 77 from REYNOR. So yeah, REYNOR really suffering a lot here against MARU's harassment. Those Hellions just proving so strong and such a hard attack. Now we even have Hellbats here, much more tankier unit, as those tanks need of course to be protected in the front by some units. Perhaps some Marines, Marauders will be added. REYNOR is closing in with the roaches, and we even have now what they call Broodlords. So yeah, Broodlords it is here for REYNOR against MARU. Let's have a look at the answer here. Broodlords, of course, perfect counter against those tanks, perfect counter against this walling by MARU, and look at all of that damage. We even have corruptors against battle cruisers, and yet tanks are really suffering. Even the Ravagers now dropping those fireballs on those tanks, and yeah, great push, great timing push by REYNOR at the 12-minute mark. In comes the corruptors against the battle cruisers. MARU is trying to of course defend this as strong as he can, but Yamamoto gun killing some of those Broodlords, and yeah, more and more damage is being taken by the Terran. Great mix of an army here. We have roaches, even he added even those queens just for support, just for healing. Yeah, Broodlords, really great damage. Some of them fall of course. And let's have a look. Ghosts are now sniping those Broodlords. Really nice answer by MARU. Perfect timing. Still 3 Broodlords are being left alive. 10 workers have been killed, 10 SCVs. This will eventually be held off by MARU, but what circumstances is taking so much damage. Let's have a look. More reinforcements are now coming in for REYNOR, but it's just a couple of Zerglings as the battle cruisers still attacking those tanky units, and we see actually queens healing here, not on creep. So remember, this is on March 2022. The patch hasn't been come out yet, so queens still able to heal here even though they're not on creep. So yeah, very imbalanced of course, as the siege does continue here. More and more is being added. Finally the Broodwar has fallen, and we see now 4 ships, also Tors of course. Great universal counter against REYNOR, but hold on, we have another attack here by REYNOR, this time with mass servants, with roaches, and so many CVs have fallen all of a sudden. 26, almost 30 kills here for the Zerg, so a great strong push, this time with just some small Zerglings, just some roaches, really dealing so much damage, as the main army of course from MARU was back, just dealing with those Broodlords, with those corruptors. REYNOR really punishing here, even add some banings. Those banings of course against those Hellbats, against those ghosts. But let's have a look. Is he going to for a surround? He's taking some damage. MARU is nicely kiting back and forth. The Tors will of course have to retreat. They are very tanky, but there's even Ravagers and Roaches. Might pick them up with a medevac. Really tanky units here. Tors, very nice counter in the end. MARU is going to hold, but once again taking so much damage, and he's really far behind into the worker count, so this base has pretty much been cleared, as there are still some corruptors here for REYNOR. So great vision. Let's have a look what his plan is going to be. Perhaps going to morph some Broodlords. Let's have a look at his main going all of a sudden into mass Zerglings, into mass Banings. Of course, the Zerglings are pretty much upgraded. Starcraft is still in position. MARU is licking his wound. He is going to produce those SCVs back. REYNOR still at the nicely count here from 90 workers, as once again he's pushing forward. Hellbats with Tors. Of course, the Zerglings could surround those Tors. Let's have a look. The siege tanks are nicely sieged up. They're pretty much good spreaded, but the Banings do make it here through, straight towards up the ramp. So many kills here, but MARU still holds his ground. He has the high ground. He is able to push REYNOR back, and those ghosts really worth a unit with those snipe. And yeah, let's look. A couple of broodlords have been spawned here to attack the base. MARU, and yeah, MARU might try to snipe them away. Yeah, let's once again. I'm looking at the worker count. REYNOR almost at 100 workers. Army also up here for the REYNOR. But we've seen many comebacks here from the Terran, especially from MARU. Many miraculous comebacks. Let's have a look if he's going to make it happen here as well. Hellbats with Ghosts. Ghosts are a perfect counter in a late game towards the Zerg. And yeah, let's have a look. REYNOR still keeps pushing here forward. Still keeps adding more and more. The Ghosts are nicely being acted back and forward. We have Blinding Clouds now, so even Vipers here added by REYNOR. So much damage. Zerglings will fall, of course, but still the Ravagers are launching those fireballs towards the Terran. And at the same time, sorry about this, I did miss it, 23 workers have been killed here, so really nice stuff here by REYNOR, once again punishing the economy, multitasking against MARU. So what a great stuff here by him, as he's attacking on 3 flanks. And once again 23 workers have been killed. I believe this has happened here, perhaps with some banings. Sorry about this one. Such a hard game for any players. Also hard to react onto 3 fronts as well. REYNOR really showing his skill, showing how important banings are, of course, against those workers. MARU has shown us the strength of Hellions. Yeah, those banings really strong against the Terran. Once again, in comes REYNOR with his forces, with his banings. The banings will not make it through towards the main sniping. He's going on the tank. He's also dealing quite some splash damage. Good hold this time by MARU, as he's able to push the Zerg back. But if this siege continues on, of course, REYNOR will have the economic advantage. Let's have a look if MARU somehow, once again, he's trying to retake this post, trying to come back with his economy. Let's have a look if he's going to making it here. As some SCV will be transferred. He even might add some mules just to come back. In the meantime, REYNOR just keeps expanding all over the map. Even has the lower left not guarded as also. If one battlecruiser would spawn here, would teleport here, so much damage would be taken. The same can be said about this expansion. So really no defenses at all. But hold on, we have another attack here by REYNOR. This is going for this planetary fortress. SCVs have been, of course, transferred immediately. The planetary has fallen. Some supply depots will fall. Gas is going to fall as well. Great stuff by REYNOR, just hurting MARU as much as he can. MARU takes now his 6 o'clock. REYNOR has destroyed here the 3rd o'clock. So once again, REYNOR on another position, repositioning, regrouping here. Let's have a look. Hellbats, once again the answer from MARU with tanks. No Tors this time for him, of course, and those ghosts really much important. But let's have a look. In comes REYNOR. He doesn't have the bangs from the back. Going to push here forward with those Ravagers, with those fireballs. But yeah, the tanks are nicely spreaded and also being guarded. Ghost, of course, just in case REYNOR goes for some ultralisk, they will be the perfect answer. And once again, we see some kills. 9 SCVs have fallen from the Terran. Let's have a look. This choke point is actually pretty good here for MARU. More and more damage has been taken by him, but this choke point is perfect for his tanks to attack. So REYNOR just has to find a new position, as he's now once again regrouping. MARU wishes, of course, to take this back, but those queen eggs are really nicely being spread. Once again, in comes some Zerglings. They might get some connections from SCVs, could fall, and once again he spreads those Zerglings really nicely, as he's going to kill many more workers. 30 workers have been killed here. So many Zerglings all around the map. And finally the Hellbats will push this back. But still 15, once again 15 kills for REYNOR against MARU. MARU, really hard game for him, as once again a small group from Zerglings really being able to kill so many SCVs. As he just keeps sending those Zerglings and at the same time regrouping in the middle of the map. Mass Zerglings, mass Ravagers, no Roaches, and some Banelings of course to attack the SCVs. Let's have a look, such a mobile force by REYNOR of course. Taking some snipes out of those ghosts will cloak Tor, also very much tanky. Really nice job this time by MARU, but still he has taken so many SCV losses. Yeah, a double amount of workers from REYNOR. Still MARU keeps holding on. Those tanks of course nicely defending here. Let's have a look. It looks like MARU wishes this time to push out. He has unsieged, he has his tanks, he has his Tors, and his army is actually looking really strong. All of a sudden 101 supply versus 96. It's going to be a very deadly push. Let's have a look how REYNOR is going to react. He has some infestors now, so some fungals could go out, even some mind control could happen. MARU repositioning, he finds a nice spot, could deal lots of splash damage, but in comes REYNOR from all the sides. He has to retreat, however this was a really nice position for those tanks, but still 10 SCVs have fallen. So REYNOR once again perhaps sending out a small force of Zerglings, still crippling here the economy from MARU. You see MARU tries of course to push here forward. He is done with staying back, and once again just look at that, just a small group of 6 Zerglings being sent out. No defenses of course here, but in case there were some SCVs they would have been snapped. So in comes MARU now, he had enough of this, he's sieging up here, sends his Hellbats in the front, deals now damage towards this expansion. So this time REYNOR in trouble, and those drones could really get snapped here by those Hellbats. Lots and lots of splash damage. Finally MARU is making something happen here, but from the back comes REYNOR with his Banelings, with his Zerglings, dealing massive amounts of splash damage. The Tors are exposed, the tanks have been killed. So yes, sadly for MARU, he's taking quite some damage, some sniping is going on. But yeah, REYNOR once again hurting MARU really strongly here, and just retreating because he knows that he has the economic advantage. Sadly, if I look at the worker count here from MARU, it's at 28 workers versus the 86 from REYNOR, but still MARU keeps pushing forward. Still has a very strong army, Hellbats, Tors, and those ghosts of course. With those sniping is able to kill this expansion as well. In the meantime some Zerglings once again find their way here through MARU's base. Another expansion has been killed, so MARU finally also doing something really great, and those Hellbats could actually snipe so many drones, but REYNOR needs to be careful not to take so much damage. Finally the economy from REYNOR is also hurting as he's pushing now finally forward with those Zerglings regrouping once again in the middle. This drone train could have taken so much damage out of some tanks for example, or Hellbats, but yeah, in the end this is the main force from MARU. Has added some tanks, has added some Hellbats. In comes REYNOR once again straight in the front, fearless here with his Banelings, with his Zerglings, Ravagers in the back dealing splash damage, but the tanks are not being touched. REYNOR has to retreat. Only those fireballs will deal some damage towards those tanks. And once again the Zerglings just keeps killing units after unit, keep killing some supply depots, just hurting the Terran as much as he can. And yeah, let's have a look what the next steps are going to be. Where exactly MARU is mining from. He's only actually mining from this base with, sadly for him, only 40 workers, and in comes REYNOR with those Zerglings. MARU really has to react. He's going to once again lose so many workers. 12, 13, one worker has been left alive, and even that one has been killed. Finally the mine will get some connection, and MARU literally now at 0 workers versus the 70 workers from REYNOR. How is he going to come back here? Just by some miracle he's going to snap some drones. So many drones here for REYNOR. It's like a choo-choo train of drones for him. And yeah, MARU with this small force, he still has those medivacs, so he could be more mobile. Finally he's sniping 5 drones. REYNOR once again coming in, killing the mule. And yeah, let's have a look how things will unfold. Such a hard game here for MARU versus REYNOR. And how is he going to come back? He did kill some drones. In comes the Zerglings from the back, from REYNOR attacking from the front, from the back, and all of a sudden the army here from MARU is going to fall. Only the snipers have been left alive, and this has to be of course the